And Brother Rashid, we've talked about what the Quran says about the book of the people of the book. So it's referring to the Torah and the gospel. But the Quran refers to the gospel as, in other words, even as Christians, we can talk about the gospel like, you know, as a book, but also as like a message. But the Quran talks about the gospel as a book, and your average Muslim really believes that the Quran says that the gospel has been corrupted. Why I find this so amazing is you can look up every single reference. There are only 12 of them. You can look up every single reference to the gospel. Every time the Quran mentions the gospel, you can look up every passage. I can't find one word even suggesting or hinting that the gospel has been corrupted. And in fact, I'll give everyone the references right here in case you want to look up every single reference. You've got Surah 3, verse 3, Surah 3, verse 48, Surah 3, verse 65, Surah 5, verse 46, Surah 5, verse 47, Surah 5, verse 66, Surah 5, verse 68, Surah 5, 110, Surah 7, 157, Surah 9, verse 111, Surah 48, verse 29, and Surah 57, verse 27. That is every single time the Quran mentions the gospel. I challenge everyone out there to find one hint that the Quran is saying our book has been corrupted. But it is what Muslims believe, so what do you think?
We have two problems. The first one, not just two problems in the Quran, in this subject.
There are only two problems in the Quran, is that what you're saying?
There are two problems with this idea. First of all, when I grew up, I was thinking the gospel is like the Quran. Jesus is like Muhammad. This is the impression every Muslim has.
That's the impression you'd get from the Quran.
Yes, that Jesus had his moments where he goes like this, and then revelation comes to him. Then he tells one of his disciples, write this verse. And then he had a book at the end. When he died, he left the book. So we project our history to Christianity. We think it went through the same phases, which is not true. So we have a problem understanding what is the gospel. The gospel is good news. Even Injil, which the word Arabic, it's from Greek. It's not an Arabic word. And the Quran never translated it, never explained it. So we have Injil is another book like the Quran. It should have been written by Jesus. So when we come and read the Gospel of Matthew, the Gospel of Mark, Luke, and John, then we will be like, oh, this is not the Gospel. Because the Quran gave us impression it's a book that belongs to Jesus and God gave it to him. The Quran never explained to us it was the good news about Jesus, the life of Jesus was written by his disciples. This is the first confusion that Muslims do not understand, and that's why they accuse the gospel of being corrupt.